All right, welcome in to the first ever podcast on the Third Perspective channel.
That's right.
Today we just went off our live reactions of the NFL draft. We got to talk, we got to see all the different picks, all the crazy things, all the headlines. We're gonna get all of that right now. In our opinion, the number one headline has to be probably the New York Giants tonight.
I think so. Yeah, I agree.
They started their night off with getting an absolute heater of a player in Arvo Reese. I think potentially could be maybe the best defensive player in the draft. Like arguably maybe the best defensive talent in the entire draft
Looking back,
at five.
absolutely.
Like you're sitting there at five. Like I said it the whole time. I thought Arvo Reese was second or third. The Jets went David Bailey at 2, which didn't surprise me. I thought they would have went Reese, but they didn't. But then the shocker of the Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love at 3. And so now you're sitting there at 4, like he's still here. And it's almost like you're looking at it for the Giants. And it's crazy because like I said, I think the Titans reached on Carnell Tate. And I think they reached because I think they wanted Jeremiah Love. Like, and he was gone. And it was like, well, crap, we wanted an offensive weapon. What do we do? And
Right.
then
I think going into it, Jeremiah Love was a Titan the entire way. I didn't see a world where Arizona would pick him at 3, which it is worth noting. Jeremiah Love he's signing the contract as a running back with the most guaranteed money ever for a running back. Surpasses
Ridiculous.
Saquon Barkley's deal because he got selected 3rd overall. Great talent, great player. I just don't think it's the way any of us really saw it playing out. But yeah, well, like you said, Arvell Reese sitting there at 5. Giants, you have to pounce on that.
I mean,
Great.
and they
Everything
did. It
looks
was
amazing.
instant. It was instant. Like they made that pick so fast because there should have been no question about it. Like, and then we're talking about literally 5 picks later, mind you, the backstory of how they getting this pick. This beautiful team right here, the Cincinnati Bengals, trade the 10th overall pick to the Giants just a few days ago to land Dexter Lawrence, arguably one of the best. Not arguably, he's one of the best defensive talents in the league. The best nose tackle in the league. He is a game wrecker. He's a game changer. He is a phenomenal player. And
A
5
good way
picks
to
later,
describe him would be hard to replace.
yeah, like he's a generational talent. Like you're not going to find many players like him in NFL history. Like, there's no debating that. And
So
I didn't think trading him was a bad thing. I think 10th pick was I think they got a good deal out of it. I do. I've said it before. I think it was a good trade for both sides. I think it benefits both until tonight. And I no longer think it benefited both at all.
how do you replace a guy like that? How do you build a young team? How do you give something for the fans to be excited for with a guy like Caleb Downs on the board? You draft a left tackle.
I mean,
That's what you
we were in this stream when this happened, and I just like I almost lost my crap for Giants fans. You made the unanimous pick at 5. You did exactly what you should have done. It was awesome. Me and him were sitting here talking about it like they're about to get Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, or Arvell Reese and Reuben Bain, something that they're about to draft 2 monsters. And they're going to completely transform their defense in one day because you
and
gave away a generational talent. Okay, if you're sitting here as a Giants fan, you just traded Dexter Lawrence for a rookie offensive tackle, straight up. Like, what are you doing? Like, that is not the worst pick. We're going to get into that. But, like, I don't see how you can justify, because they knew what kind of player Dexter Lawrence was. That's why everybody knows what kind of player he was. You don't give up a 10th overall pick in a draft if the guy isn't talented. That's the only way you get a price tag like that. I mean, that's one of the highest price tags you can give a player, especially at 28. And you don't do that without knowing he's a absolute unit of a player. And then you take that pick and draft an offensive tackle. You had a chance to draft a generational talent in Caleb Downs. And you let
Every
it go.
single Giants fan was sitting there holding their breath, waiting, and that's what they heard. I mean, I can just imagine. Well, I'm not a Giants fan. I just can't imagine that people are very thrilled with. But the
And
one
then
group of people that I know are significantly more upset is any LA Rams fan coming off of a
my
high.
gosh.
You have an MVP, Matthew Stafford. You're talking about contract extensions. He 100% is coming back to play next year. You have the 13th overall pick. You have Devontae Adams, who's going to be a cap casualty next year, older, who you're probably going to end up releasing. You've got a Mekhi Lemons still sitting on the board, or a cornerback.
Reuben Bain was still
really
on the board.
bolstered up. Reuben Bain is still sitting on the board on the other side of Jared Verse. You've got Thiemann. You've got the safety from Toledo. And who do you pick?
I
Simpson
said,
at 13th overall, a quarterback that you don't even know if is legit. You don't know if he's the future. You don't know if anybody else even had him at a top 30 talent.
and then they're asking questions like, we were going to draft him regardless of what Matthew said. Why? It's not like
You're
it's not like
potentially
we're sitting here
you're
talking about one of the best quarterback talents we've ever seen. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. I'm
eh,
not saying he's not, but you're looking at a guy who was he was a good college quarterback, but you're not looking at him like he has the most amazing NFL upside you've ever seen. And you have an MVP caliber quarterback play. And yes, he's old, but he's got a couple more seasons in him. Why now? And why
yeah.
at 13?
He's coming off of the best season of his career, and he's already hinted at and showed plenty of signs towards returning for at least a year. They're talking about an extension through, I want to say, 2030. By that point in time, Ty Simpson's going to be on the last year of his rookie contract. He's not touched the football. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you know? That's one of those, and you hit the head on the hammer, or you hit the nail on the head with the hammer. It's not rocket science. There's no way that that's the right pick.
I said it earlier. It's like if you're looking and it's Fernando Mendoza, the best quarterback prospect in the draft, and for some reason is sitting there at 13, and you've got a Matthew Stafford, whatever. Like I don't. If there would have been nothing out there that I'm like, yeah, that could have really helped you, maybe. Ruben Bain is still sitting on the board.
Makai Lemon to replace
Ty
Devontae
Lemon
Adams.
is sitting on the board. There was
Kenyon
so
Sadiq
many people.
is still on the board.
It makes no sense. And maybe in a couple years I'm eating my words. But even if I'm eating my words, that's in a couple years. You're wasting a first round draft pick to not use him for a few years. That seems like a
Yeah.
waste.
Yeah, you're
A first round rookie not playing till his third or fourth year of his contract of his rookie deal. That's a waste.
the NFL is
that
not
is a
league
waste.
the NFL is not a league that you're drafting 2 or 3 years down the road. I mean, you look
No.
at just kind of like what Philadelphia just did. Bye AJ Brown. You know he's leaving after June 1st. Most likely going to be a Patriot. What can we do? Let's go jump Pittsburgh, who's been linked to Makai Lemon, and let's go get Makai Lemon to replace AJ Brown.
Yeah,
We've made
and they did exactly what they like. We had talked about it a little bit. They
we need
added
to
all these
win back.
receivers. Yes,
We
exactly
need
what
to
we
win
just
now.
did. You've
Let's go
got to
win
find,
now.
and that's what I'm saying. It's that same thing. Reason we traded for Dexter Lawrence. You've got a 30-year-old quarterback. You've got to go win. The Rams, you've got a 35-year-old quarterback. He's actually probably older than that.
And the
You got to
Rams,
win. You have to win absolutely right now. You have an MVP caliber quarterback with a good roster.
and you just
you
got
have-
McDuffie and Jalen Watson. You're coming off. You're right. Before that, Ty Simpson, you could argue that the Rams are the number one team this offseason. You could argue they've made the biggest.
This is
like,
exactly
best
the Jordan
improvement.
Love scenario from a few years ago. And yes, has that situation worked out for the Packers? I'm not saying it doesn't, but you're sitting there and you could have a talent already on the field. I'm not like you could have drafted another quarterback that's the caliber of Jordan Love, right?
Yeah.
There has
For
been plenty of quarterbacks in multiple drafts that are the caliber of Jordan Love. But no, he sat there for 3 years waiting to play when you could have had another rookie at a different position developing
Well,
and
look
could have
at-
been a piece for you right now.
And
Like,
look at
that's
what that costs you contract wise. You got one good year out of him, and it was a good year. And then you got
to pay him a $55 million year contract.
Exactly.
And you
What's
have
gonna
no
end up
clue.
happening?
You've seen him
Ty
play
Simpson
1 year.
stinks.
Like, what if you go out there
Ty
paying
Simpson-
$55 million and now he's like,
Ty-
it's
Ty will end up sitting for 3 or 4 years. Last year of the rookie contract, he might go out there and put up subpar, above average numbers. And then you're going to pay him $55, $60 million a year, and you're going to get the same output. It's just, overall, it's the biggest. It's the worst pick of the draft.
I don't think they're gonna be. And like, I get everyone has their guy. Everyone has players that they walk in the draft like, this is who we want. This is the guy we love.
Trade
So
back.
why are the guy? Yeah, trade back one. But why is the guy you're looking at even the quarterback? Like, if you know, like, if I'm sitting here saying Matthew Stafford should retire at the end of the year, that's one thing. But you're not. You just talked about, or maybe have approved, I don't know the exact details of it, but of him signing an extension for 2 more seasons. That means at the minimum, Ty Simpson's not touching the field till his third year. That means you're wasting imagine what Ruben Bain could have been in 2 years.
Yeah.
And you
Looking at
just
a Pro
left
Bowl
it.
edge rusher.
You just left it. Like, I don't understand that.
It almost looks like the Rams and Sean McVay owe the Simpson family like money or something. Like there's
it's
got to be
not-
like some sort of like mafia tie or something.
Like, that's one of those picks when you see the Browns just picked Casey Concession from Texas A&M. I kind of like that pick. But it blows my mind that out of all the players, like, 13's not a bad place to be. It's not. It's a little in no man's land.
Not the
there's
way
still-
that this one played out.
Yeah, there was still a very good talent on the board in Ruben Bain, and someone you definitely could have used. It's not like it's not like you can't find a place for a guy like that. It's not like you can't trust the talent. And the Buccaneers jumped on him 2 picks later. You know why? because
steal.
he's a top 10 talent
It's a
easily.
steal. So far, we've done a good job of hitting on what's gone bad. What are some picks you love? They won't need a lot of explaining. For me personally, Caleb Downs to the Cowboys, man. I'm the biggest
And
Cowboys.
that is an
It
awesome.
is
That
it's
Caleb
such a
Downs
good trade. You
was an
need
awesome
that
pick.
safety. You've
And
got
that's
him,
what's
the talent. It's just
and that's what's so crazy with all of this. You're the Giants sitting there at 10. You don't do it, and guess who now you're going to play against
your
twice a
division
year?
rival.
You're going to play against Caleb Downs in a Cowboys uniform. Like the Cowboys may have got the steal of the draft there at 12.
And I love Tampa Bay's pick for Ruben Bain.
Those are the two. Those are the two steals of the
Yeah.
draft. Like
So far, I agree.
the Giants at 5, Arvo Reese, that's awesome. But it's not like that's a hard pick to make. But neither was Caleb Downs, and they couldn't 5 picks later. Couldn't
I
do that.
didn't think Caleb Downs would be that difficult either.
But you're like that at 12, and you knew like they knew who they wanted. They traded up. They trade up. What'd they give up? A third and a fourth, or a third and a fifth?
I think it might have been 2/4.
2/4, something. They gave up a significant amount to move up. What was it? 2 spots? 1
I
spot?
think it was just one. Yeah.
1 spot. They gave up 2 fourth-round picks to move 1 spot. That tells you exactly what they think of that guy. Because you were like, we got to get him. Like they saw that the Giants just goofed up, and they said, let's go get him. Let's go get our guy. Because he shouldn't have been on that board. Like I guarantee you, if that's the Bengals at 10, he doesn't make it past 10. He should have never made it past 10. Giants, Bengals, whoever's there. Like, and that's what's so crazy. Like, you just gave your division rival we talked about this earlier. You're talking about comparisons. You're talking about a guy who's had a baby with Cam Chancellor and
Yeah.
Buda Baker, and like we're talking about his seat. Like you're talking about a
You're-
ceiling of a guy.
You're
You're talking
looking
about a
at
ceiling of Troy Polamalu. A ceiling.
correct me if I'm wrong. I think Caleb Downs is 21 years old. You're looking at a 21-year-old Buda Baker who could go up to, I mean, gosh, you could look. I mean, the talent is just there. We don't have to go on and on about the talent and the output.
He is
that
20.
He put
He
out.
is 21.
He's 21 years old. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the left tackle. I mean, that could be the future.
But it doesn't make sense. Like even if that left tackle is that good, you cannot trade away. That's like saying who's a good young tackle in the league. What's his name? Joe Alt.
I mean,
That's like saying
Joe
Joe Alt right
yeah.
now. And Joe Alt is phenomenal. We don't know if this
Yeah.
guy's even going to be Joe Alt. But you're trading away one of the best defensive players in the league. Imagine taking whoever your favorite team is, the best defensive player or one of the best players in your roster, arguably one of the best in the league, and saying, hey, we want Joe Alt for him.
Let's say it
Why?
this way. If you went to the Giants and you said, look, I've got 2 trade proposals. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather trade Dexter Lawrence for Joe Alt or Dexter Lawrence for a little bit younger and a better Nick Eamon-Warrior? Look at what Nick Eamon-Warrior did for the Seahawks last year. Look at his diversity, especially in the playoffs, the big plays that he made, and what he did all year. That was a 2nd-round draft pick. This
And that's
guy
what
has
I'm
the talent
saying.
to be looked at as the number 1 talent in the entire draft.
Yeah, you traded a game
Everybody
wrecker.
is taking that safety.
That's what I'm saying. You don't trade a game wrecker / a game changer for an offensive tackle. You don't do that. I've said it. I said it earlier. If that was their 10th pick, like if that was just their pick in the draft, that's a great pick. I'm not going to fret at. Which I still think even if it's their pick, you take Caleb Downs over a tackle every day of the week. But if that's their pick, it's one thing. But it's what you gave up to get that. You just traded up Dexter Lawrence for a rookie tackle. That is not good. Like that makes us look awesome right now.
Yeah, the Bears just made a pick that I actually really like. The Bears went with Dylan Theinman, that safety from Oregon.
Yep.
The Bears are cooking, man.
We just those are like we talked about the Giants a lot. It's befuddled me all night. Like I loved like when they made that trade, I loved it for both sides. I absolutely loved that deal for both sides. It helps the Bengals win now, which they need with a 30-year-old Burrow. And they've needed a player like that in the middle for a long time now. They haven't had a guy like that since Geno Atkins. And Geno Atkins wasn't that good.
Mm.
And then the Giants, you get a chance to draft 2 really impactful players on a rebuilding roster. And you had a chance to draft 2 generational defensive talents, and you let it slip through your fingers for an offensive tackle.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see how rounds 2 through 7 play out for him. Seeing what safeties might drop. Maybe that guy from Toledo. I love the guy from Toledo. Maybe they pick him up. We just looking at it as a whole, which that's kind of the whole point of this podcast and us kind of reacting and watching things live, is so we could see it live and witness it round 1 at a time. We'll have to look at the whole 7-round draft and look back on it.
I mean,
I would say that kind of wraps up our thoughts as to where we're at going through kind of the first round, really hit on the bad. There were some good, but there were some surprising bad, some surprising things. The historic Jeremiah Love deal. Goodbye, AJ Brown. AJ Brown's for sure gone.
Yeah, that's a big storyline. And everyone kind of saw that one coming. Like it's been AJ Brown to the Patriots for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, and they most definitely confirmed tonight is you don't take Mekhi Lemon in the first round. You especially you don't trade up. You traded
take
up to
Mekhi
get
Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon,
Right.
and you traded to your division rival. You don't
And
trade
they
with a
paid that
division rival.
tax.
They
moved
did.
up 2
They
spots.
paid a pretty.
Gave them
They
2
cost them a
fourths.
pretty penny to go get that. So
Yeah, no
you
joke.
definitely don't trade up. What's crazy for the Cowboys? They got their picks. They're pretty much their picks back for Caleb Downs, but you definitely don't trade that kind of price tag, do it a guy like that without it being. It's to expect it. It's a great move if he actually does go to the Patriots. An awesome move for him. Like it's awesome. But day one is definitely there was a few things. Fernando and Mendoza, relations #1. It's awesome. It's always cool to see get to be the #1 pick. Like is everyone saw it. It's not really that exciting because it's not like who's going to go #1. Everyone knew it's Fernando Mendoza for all year pretty much since the playoffs started. Well, that's going to be Mendoza, there's no question. But most of it winning according to plan. Your winners of the day are definitely.
Dude, I'm thinking Dallas.
I'd say it's Dallas. Yeah,
I think
you
Dallas
traded
won
up to
round
get
1 so
Downs.
far.
You traded up to get Downs. Don't they still have a pick? Or
Yeah,
have
they ended
have
up.
great picks?
Yeah, they ended up going with Malachi Lawrence, the edge rusher from UCF.
The edge rusher from you. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
not bad.
They have a really
He's a solid
good looking
player.
first round right now.
And they got their picks back from the Eagles that they paid to get Downs. And I don't see another way to choose another winner. Like if the Giants take Downs, they're the winner of the entire draft. I don't think
unless they just smoke 2 through 7. But
yeah,
I would say
another
I
person we didn't talk about has had a great draft is the Jets. You made a good. You could have went
Yeah,
Argo Reese,
I like
but
it.
I think Marcus Bailey's a great player. I think he's a really
David
solid
Bailey.
player. David Bailey. I think David Bailey is the best edge rusher in the class. I don't really see much debating it at this point. And then you pick a pretty good playmaker later on in the tight end out of Oregon. Yeah,
absolutely.
Sadiq, pretty good playmaker. They still got to figure the quarterback situation, but I think they had a pretty solid day one. So I'd say your winners of the day is probably Cowboys, but your winners overall, Cowboys, Jets.
I mean, I really like.
I think the Browns.
The Browns have had a good draft.
Got some capital. They got a good receiver, got a good offensive tackle. I think they should have went with the guy the Giants took over the guy from Utah. But I think overall they're still good. Your losers, sorry Giants, that's not good. I'm sorry. You were on pace to be winners.
The Rams are the biggest loser, man. They definitely take the cake there.
Yeah, there's no debating it. The Rams are by far the worst that you could do. It's abysmal. And maybe we're eating our words here in a few years, but even if
we could be. We'll see who the Chiefs draft at 29. I mean, personally, I do enjoy the trade up to skip the cornerback needy Commanders who were favored to take Mansour Delane at 7. Sometimes you just see the guy you want, you pull the trigger. If they get a good edge rusher or a solid value pick here at 29, they could have a sneaky good first round draft as well. So
I mean, that's probably the biggest storylines. The draft's actually still going on. They got a couple picks left. We're pick 25 right now.
We actually just saw a trade.
Been too crazy, but I mean, it's been a pretty. I mean, I wouldn't say it's been a crazy and like, oh, this has been wild. I mean, at the end of the day, could the offense tackle from the Giants be a good player? Yes. I don't agree giving up a talent to draft a tackle, but maybe I'll be eating. Maybe I come out and this dude's an all-pro in his rookie year. I don't know.
We'll see. Or maybe Caleb Downs gets.
They better hope
whatever
so.
happens.
But I don't see I'm excited. I'm more of a day 2 to 3 guy. I kind of like more of the drafting. Like in round 1, it's not hard to really draft a good player all the time, but it's kind of when you get those later rounds, kind of the dog days of it, getting those best things you got. That's all I really got. It's been a little shorter one, only about 20 minutes, but we're just talking about one round and pretty much for 20 minutes dogging on the Giants and the Rams for.
We'll try to, pretty much. We'll try to.
I wish you guys could have seen the reactions we had here when that happened. I mean, that was just.
We'll have to get it clipped. But we'll try to get back probably after like round 3 or 4, or even after like the 7, kind of review our teams. You can talk a little bit about how you feel about the Bengals. I can talk a little bit about how I feel about Kansas City.
Hey, I'm feeling great in Cincinnati right now.
Players.
We drafted Dexter Lawrence at number 10. I'm pumped.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I appreciate all of you. It's going to be our first episode there. We're going to conclude it here. It's only about 20 minutes. Sorry, a little shorter. I'm planning a bit longer, but we're only covering one round of a draft, not, the whole sports world and getting into all these different things. We should be back. We'll be doing our live reactions tomorrow during the draft. And then probably towards the end of round 3 or whatever, we'll come in here and we'll do our we'll film our normal podcast. We'll kind of explain all the headlines and everything. But appreciate all you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope to see you all later. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Turn the notifications on. Don't miss a single podcast in the episode. We'll be trying to upload my goals twice a week for right now. It'll be a little bit longer, probably 35, 40 minutes, but we're excited to start this, and we hope to see you all guys around.